I like prospects. I like the stories that players have about making their way to the major leagues. And I like predicting which prospects are going to be good, especially the lower ranked ones. Let's do that today. For each team in Major League Baseball, here is one prospect that I like for each American League team. The Angels are known for their really shitty farm system, which is mainly because they attempt to rush players to the major leagues when they are most likely not ready. We see this with anybody: Reed Detmers, Christian Moore, and my pick, Ryan Johnson. Johnson was a competitive balance round pick in 2024 and made the Angels' major league roster out of spring training the next year. The Angels said, "Hey, dude who has never pitched in pro ball in his career, do you want to come to spring training and then immediately come out of the pen for the major league team?" And obviously, Ryan Johnson isn't going to say no. Anyways, to everybody's surprise, that didn't work out too well. And Johnson is now in high A ball with a 1.99 ERA in 10 games started with 61 strikeouts. I think Johnson could definitely be a good reliever soon. The Angels thought this a little too soon. Give the dude a chance to throw some innings and work things out, and he should be major league ready very soon. And hell, maybe getting his feet wet at the most competitive level in the world will benefit his future. The Astros! Another bad farm system due to all the trades they do in order to stay in contention every year. I'm going to be a little weird with this pick and scroll down to the bottom of the top 30 list. For a farm system with very little depth, the last ranked prospect is not a bad looking prospect at all. Will Bush, a 21-year-old catcher slash first baseman who was drafted in the 16th round of the 2023 draft out of high school. Scouts have his best tool as his power with a 50 grade, which makes sense as he has a 240 average and is a bulky guy, so not much speed. But if Bush can stick as a catcher defensively, his 833 OPS in high A ball with 12 homers in 63 games looks pretty good to me. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you see this guy backing up Yainer Diaz, or hell, maybe even taking his job from him in a few years. A call up to Double A for Bush is definitely imminent. Be on the lookout. Now here's a farm system with some depth. And what do? I scroll all the way down to the bottom of the top 30 again. Because Wei and Lin has to be climbing up the prospect rankings when the updated lists come out. A 19-year-old left-handed pitcher signed out of Taiwan in 2024. This dude has earned a call up to high A at just 19 years old. And even though the stuff like ERA isn't at elite levels, I love the fact that he walks virtually no hitters. In 62 innings, Lin has a 3.59 ERA with 85 strikeouts and just 12 walks. If you can limit the free passes at lower levels of the minor leagues, that's definitely something that can be built on, especially for a teenager. Look out for this Taiwanese phenom. The Mariners are known for their pitching, and I've found a pitcher in their system who is very much like Wei In Lin, except maybe a little less exciting in my opinion. Ryan Sloan is the Mariners' 8th overall prospect and was their second round pick in 2024. He has thrown 57 innings in A-ball with a 3.43 ERA and 64 strikeouts with just 11 walks. He has 3 plus pitches and is also just 19 years old. This guy will replace one of the Mariners' top pitchers once they inevitably hit free agency and their cheap ass ownership refuses to pay them. Just you wait. For the Rangers, I'm going a little unorthodox compared to what I usually like in a prospect. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, he's not going to pick a pitcher this time. Stupid. Of course I'm picking a pitcher. They make up the majority of the Rangers' top 30 anyways. What is so unorthodox about this guy is how old he is. Cole Drake, sick name by the way, is a 25-year-old lefty who was the Rangers' 11th round pick in 2022. He has put up some very impressive numbers in AA this year, and unfortunately is sort of struggling in AAA after a recent call-up. However, he is 6'5" and 220 pounds, with some nice grades on all of his pitches, so I think he could definitely be a lefty reliever out of the pen for the Rangers next year, if Hobie Milner provides his services elsewhere in free agency. Completely solid out of a top 10 prospect in the farm system. The first of the AL Central teams. It always feels like the Guardians pull some random prospect out of nowhere to be the next pretty okay player for them. I mean, Stephen Kwan didn't appear on their prospects list until the year he debuted in 2022. So you never know where these guys are going to come from. But I am forced to pick from the current top 30 prospects rankings, and I will go to number 8 in the Guardians' top 30. Cooper Ingle. With Bo Naylor not turning out to be what the Guardians had hoped for offensively from their catcher, the highest ranked catcher in their system may just have to do it. Cooper Ingle was drafted in the 4th round of the 2023 draft and is tearing up AA right now with an 859 OPS and 9 home runs while walking about as much as he strikes out. His defensive grades aren't what you really want from a catcher, so maybe the 23-year-old would split time with Naylor in the majors, but I believe he will definitely make it there in the next year or two. With a farm system headlined by 2 top 10 catchers in baseball, the Royals love to draft high schoolers. And I will be picking from that same type of prospect, a lefty pitcher who was drafted out of high school last year, David Shields. The 18-year-old second rounder is in A-ball right now and has a 2.82 ERA in his first 44 pro innings with 47 strikeouts. The strikeouts compared to walks kind of concern me, but the Royals are so good at scouting and developing pitching that David Shields could be an amazing addition to that Royals rotation by the time Cole Ragans is on his way out. The Tigers have the best farm system in baseball, so it's hard to find a player you don't like in the top 10 of the Tigers' top 30 prospects list. But sitting at number 10 is a right-handed pitcher who is 24 years old, who just got called up at the time I am writing this script. And that is Troy Melton. A 60 grade fastball for the 2022 4th rounder, he had a 2.99 ERA in 75 innings with 101 strikeouts in AAA this year. Melton has 5 pitches, with his fastball being his best, and is criminally underrated in this very vast farm system. I had a strong feeling that Melton would be called up, and what do you know? He got the call. I want to keep the Twins prospect short and sweet, and that's because I picked a guy who is pretty high ranked in the Twins system. The number 4 prospect, Kalen Culpepper. The 2024 first round pick is absolutely raking in AA right now, with a 922 OPS and 4 home runs in just 19 AA games. This shortstop is a pure hitter with some good fielding grades as well. And with Royce Lewis not looking too hot in the major leagues, the Twins could call this kid up for a cup of coffee by the end of this year if they're out of the playoffs. The White Sox have been calling up a bunch of top prospects for the past couple months now, and that means they will be graduating from prospect status very soon. This also means I won't be picking any of those guys as a prospect I like from their system. So why don't I look for a guy they got in a trade last year? Someone who may provide the team a lot of value for what they gave up. Alexander Albertus is the White Sox number 14 prospect as of recording, and he was acquired in the 3-team trade that sent Eric Fedde to the Cardinals and Michael Kopech to the Dodgers. Albertus has been injured the majority of 2025 and has only just returned to rookie ball, but I think he could shoot up the minor league rankings very quickly. His best tool is his 55 hit grade, which he has displayed in every level of the minors he has played so far, only getting as high as A-ball in his career. The 20-year-old has plenty of time left to develop and make his way to the bigs, and could help a White Sox team who truly needs the young ball players to ball out. The first of the AL East teams, and I've already detailed who my favorite prospect of theirs is in a different video. Go check that one out. Trey Savage is a stud. The other Bird team in the East has had some very high ranking prospects become studs in the majors over the past few years, and their farm system looks like they could provide more young talent for the future. Now, the Orioles have one glaring issue in the majors, and that is pitching. Mike Elias, the Orioles GM, is convinced he can win a World Series with homegrown talent primarily, and hasn't shown any willingness to sign meaningful free agent pitching. So which homegrown pitcher could help the Orioles in the near future? Well, let's look at the number 9 prospect, Patrick Riley. A 60 grade fastball with some decent secondary and tertiary offerings, Riley was traded from the Pirates for another prospect in Billy Cook last year. This has seemed like a better trade for the Orioles, as Cook hasn't been the best in Pittsburgh. However, Riley did need UCL reconstructive surgery and has only just come back to playing recently. He has a small control issue, walking too many guys for my liking, but if Elias really wants to only use homegrown talent, this is the next guy who could help the Birds' rotation. I have been waiting for the Rays to come around for the entire video. Why? Because I absolutely love Trey Morgan. I watched the College World Series game where Trey Morgan single-handedly saved LSU and their chances at winning with a stunning play at home to get a very important out. The 23-year-old first baseman is an absolute stalwart defender at first, which is not exactly valued that high, but he is a really good hitter as well. 2025 has seen some struggles in AAA for Morgan, but the numbers aren't abysmal. Morgan only played 21 games in AA last year and immediately got to start the year in AAA, posting a 787 OPS in 45 games so far, while having a decent strikeout to walk ratio. He dealt with a quad injury at the beginning of the year, hence the 45 games. But with Yandy Diaz's contract up soon and Jonathan Aranda not being the best defensive first baseman, I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Morgan started 2026 with the big league club. For the Red Sox, I am also going to pick a player ranked a little higher than some of the others I have picked. The 4th overall prospect in the Sox farm system is Peyton Toll. The second-round pick by the Red Sox in 2024, the left-handed pitcher has recently been called up to AA after posting a 3.62 ERA in 49 innings with 79 Ks and just 14 walks. He is a 55 overall prospect, with his best pitch being his 65 grade fastball. Toll's ETA is 2026, and I think he will definitely be in the major leagues in that time frame. Finally, the last American League team is the Yankees, and I'm going to do a bit of a cop-out pick for this one, but bear with me here. Spencer Jones is the Yankees' 3rd overall prospect, and I have no clue how this dude isn't in the top 100 prospects list for MLB Pipeline. 6'7", 240 pounds of athleticism for the 24-year-old outfielder. This dude just got the call to AAA, and in 16 games has a 1.422 OPS with 10 home runs. 10 home runs in 16 games. That is ludicrous. As a Jays fan, I am absolutely terrified about this dude, as I already know he will find a way to kill the Jays. Spencer Jones will make his Major League debut in 2025, and it will be very, very soon. Thank you for watching. By the time this is out, I will be already working on the National League version of this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Until the next one, have a good day.